What's going on, Preston? Another local Chiefs fan talking to me from the other side of Kansas City. How are you?
I'm doing great, Zup. How are you doing today?
Doing excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So, man, talk to me, Preston, a little bit about the lay of the land here in Kansas City.
Oh my goodness, it is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just right outside every single day. We're loving it. We're out there destroying it day by day, week by week, month by month.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you were born and raised here in Kansas City. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And I know you spent a little time in Chicago, Illinois. What
Yes.
was it like transitioning back to Safe Haven from Chicago?
Oh my goodness, it was wild to think about, honestly. It was a whole different ball game being out there compared to being in Kansas City, where I know everything, and living out there for just a small amount of time. I didn't even get to know the whole city, but I feel like everyone out there never really understands it. And even if you live there 40 years, you still feel like a tourist.
No doubt. Hard to compare the city of Kansas City and the city of Chicago. I mean, exact opposites. So,
Yes.
well, Preston, talk to me a little bit about your previous work history prior to onboarding here with Safe Haven a few years back.
For sure. Well, I was a marketing director before coming over to Safe Haven. I worked in the home improvement world for about 4 years. Pretty much dealt with everything exterior on a home: decks, fences, windows, siding, roofs, doors, all that good stuff there. And that's pretty much what I did from the start of my sales career. I did door to door every single day for up until pretty much where I am now.
So, coming from the same world as you, when you say door to door, I mean, dropped off on a block, talking to every neighbor in the neighborhood. Talk to me a little bit about that mental shift of going from the door to door world, going over to here to Safe Haven and running a far more strategic program in the way that we operate.
Honestly, I never realized how much easier it is. Doing that for so long, I got so used to doing that. And obviously, coming from door to door, it is the hardest form of sales out there because you're getting a million doors slammed in your face every single day. And
Yep.
you're day in, day out just to get people to actually talk to you at a door. As soon as I transitioned over here, I realized that was not the case. People were actually excited to see us and very pleased when they heard that we were with Safe Haven.
So, how long have you been employed with Safe Haven for?
So I've been at Safe Haven for almost 2.5 years now.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that time of employment. What'd you get hired on under? What program did you go through? And what landed you in that branch management role so quick?
Well, that's a great question, sir. So I actually found Safe Haven through an Indeed advertisement. Jerry Phelps ended up reaching out to me, and he tried to get me in for MIT right away. Honestly, I tried to play poker face with him as long as I could. It was a pretty funny story how I got my start here. Once I went through all my interviews with, obviously, Dean and Brandon, at that point, he was like, hey, they want to move forward with you. And I actually told Jerry that I was getting ready to head out of town. But before I would decide on any answer, obviously, I wanted to go visit an office. And he said, well, where are you traveling to, Preston? I said, I'm going to Kansas City. And he was honestly mind blown for a second. He was like, what? Come see the corporate building. I had no clue you guys were in Kansas City. So as touchdown in Kansas City, I came in, took a view at the whole office here, and then I even sat down with all the nationals, and it was honestly the coolest thing ever. I never realized the people at the top of the leaderboard would sit down with someone that hasn't even started at the company yet.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of what makes Safe Haven Safe Haven. So
Yep.
fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. So talk to me a little bit, just in today's climate in the door-to-door world, I'll put the parentheses around it, right? So you came from a strict door-to-door, dropped off on a block, talking to everyone. So you get everything from what are you doing here? Who are you? Who sent you? And now working with a particular clientele, that brand new homeowner. Talk to me a little bit about the climate and kind of the reception that you get from the customers, different from that door-to-door world you experienced prior to coming over here.
Honestly, it is complete difference. Biggest thing is when we show up, obviously we're pulling in these people's driveways. They're expecting us right away. As soon as we get to that door, knock on it within a few seconds, 99% of people come outside with a smile on their face and they're excited to talk to us. I mean, that's honestly my favorite part of the job. Every single person you talk to is going to be different, and they all have new stories because they're all moving from different cities, different states, and they all have so much to share with you. That's honestly the most gratifying feeling I get from working here, is because you hear something new every single day. It's not super repetitive, and honestly, that's what keeps me in such high spirits all the time.
Absolutely. And there's no question you may be the most high-spirited individual across the country. It makes me love working with you, that's for sure. So, well, let me ask you this. You mentioned everybody's got a different story, and that couldn't be more spot on. Do you have any particular instances or stories that you'd be willing to share, maybe about how our equipment or our process was able to help out one of your clients?
That's actually a great question. Believe it or not, this was about 3 months ago. I had a single guy reach out to me. He actually had a break-in happen, and it was pretty crazy. For the 2.5 years I've been here, I never had anyone ever reach out to me before. When he reached out to me, he texted me the longest essay I'd ever seen, and I started diving into it, and step by step through this message, he was just saying thank you over and over and over again for how quick that obviously we were able to get out to the home, make sure the house was safe and protected. Luckily, nothing had happened. Someone did open the door, but as soon as that alarm went off, the police were automatically dispatched. And then at that point, they reached out to him too, letting him know that, hey, they're on the way. We're going to make sure everything's safe and sound for you. And at the end of the day, luckily, nothing was taken.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I know you've done a great job personally going out there and protecting families, obviously on your own. You've also done a really great job of onboarding a lot of individuals and creating opportunities for them to go and duplicate that process and help share this with others. Talk to me about keeping the team motivated. What is it that keeps your guys driven day in and day out? Every time I come into the corporate office and I walk back there, it's laughing, it's a soccer ball is being kicked, we're joking around. Talk to me a little bit about what keeps the team motivated on a regular basis.
Well, as I always tell them, we work hard to play hard. The biggest thing is when we come into the office every day, we like to have fun. I mean, that's the biggest part about our training. We want everyone to learn as much as they possibly can, but also have as much fun as they possibly can at the same time. The best way of doing that is coming up with new ideas every single day for the team. You don't want anything too repetitive. Once you do that, it all gets old. If you come up with something new each day or each week for the team, they stay bought in consistently. That's the biggest thing, is we're always throwing out incentives. We're playing new games in the office. We're joking around. We're laughing. We're yelling. We're doing all sorts of fun stuff just to make sure everyone's so bought in the office that they're bought in once they get to the field as well.
Excellent. So coming up with new ideas and activities and keeping things light on the toe so they come in and it's an exciting atmosphere rather than feeling like work.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, you guys do a tremendous job of doing that. There's not a day that goes by that I walk into corporate and I don't see your team laughing their butts off back there. So excellent. Well, listen, I know guys are climbing the ranks pretty quickly, and you guys have found some early on success. What are you looking to do in the near future with your individual team here in Kansas City? And are you guys looking to expand the team?
Yes, absolutely we are. I mean, right now we have our great core group here in Kansas City, but there is so many suburbs that are outside of the Kansas City metropolitan as well that no one ever goes to. So obviously looking at getting more satellite reps, getting people that are 1 to 2 hours outside of the Kansas City metro, and making sure that they can duplicate exactly what we do here and then do it on a grander scale, and then eventually obviously move on to opening a secondary office where they can do the same exact thing.
Okay. Excellent. Well, good stuff. Well, you guys do a tremendous job, and we see the trajectory and the quick growth of the Kansas City corporate office and the pinpoint division that you run and operate. So keep doing what you're doing. You guys do an incredible job. Before I let you go, one question for you. You've had some experience in the door-to-door world. You've now experienced 2.5 years at Safe Haven. What do you feel like Safe Haven offers that you didn't find elsewhere that's kept you here for so long?
Honestly, the work-life balance. I mean, what you put into this job, you will get out tenfold. There's never been a time where I've asked to go on a vacation and someone's turned me down or made me feel bad about it while I'm on vacation. On top of that, the money aspect here as well, it's uncapped. The exponential growth that you can have in this company is something I've never seen before. There's so many companies that tell you you'll have that, and then you just never work up the ladder high enough to get to that point.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you taking some time today. Real quick on that note, I heard you mention when you take your time off, nobody bugs you, but I have to share with the group that's not actually true, because the last time you were in vacation, I was the one calling you with some work questions. So, Preston, as always, I appreciate taking a little bit of time out today. Keep kicking butt out there with the Kansas City team, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Preston.